Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to And Unity for All. This one might be a little bit long. I've done a shorter video on the same subject before, but this is a more expanded version. We have been living in a fascist society in America for many years. We're in denial about it, but the thing to keep in mind about people living under fascism is, when do they realize that they're living under fascism? Do they wait until somebody tells them, oh, this is fascism? Do they wait until people are lined up and gunned down in mass numbers? Sometimes not even then. Most of the time it's not even recognized until it's in retrospect. So we have to really look at exactly what fascism is, what defines fascism. Because we've been here for years and it's growing. It did not start with Trump. It's been here, and it's just growing. Is he making it better? Absolutely not. He's making it worse, but it sure as hell didn't start with him. So what is fascism? Fascism is too often defined as having a fascist leader. That's not what fascism is. Fascism is a government that strips away all of your human rights and is overpowering, authoritarian. It's just, you have to look at all of the things that go into it to define fascism. The leader is just a figurehead. One of the things that marks fascism very strongly is corporate power and military power. You know, there are lists and articles that define what the hallmarks of fascism are, but here's just a little bit of it. Look at the fact that our police are being so militarized. For years, our government has been preparing for militia rule. Look at their training. The police and the military go through the identical training for close quarters urban combat. In many cases, the police actually go to military posts and are trained by military personnel on close quarters urban combat. All right, so you've got that. Look at the equipment that has been given to or sold to our police forces for years. You know, they've got armored vehicles, body armor, riot gear, water cannons, M16s, grenade launchers. Make no mistake, those tear gas launchers, those are grenade launchers. The only difference is the ammunition that they're loaded with. If you put a fragmentation grenade into those tear gas launchers, it'll launch that fragmentation grenade. Okay, so what else? Hold on. All right, look at the capability of the police to track you in today's society and with our technology today. They can track you by your cell phone, by the GPS unit in your vehicle, if you have OnStar or anything similar to that. You know, and trust me, if they're following you, they can attach a GPS tracker to your vehicle. They can track you by traffic cameras, your computer. Credit card activity, debit card activity. Look at your own bank account. You use your debit card, and it shows up on your bank account in seconds. You think that they can't access that and know exactly where you've been using your credit card? They can do that. It's not even a problem. So, what else? Okay, we have the largest prison capacity in the world in history. We also have the largest prison population in the world in history. Then add to that we have over 600 military bases domestically. We have over 600 military bases. Do you think that parts of those cannot be converted to mass encampments? They can do that in hours. So, and those are only the 600 military bases. Those are only the ones that are recognized. We have a lot of military bases in this country that you don't know about. They are not publicly recognized. We got underground bases. This has been proven. Many of them. So, pardon me. All right, so if you have any doubts about this, consider a few other aspects. The Dakota Access Pipeline protests, the Ferguson protests. Look at how those were handled. Those were dry runs. Those were practice. We had police presence from all over the country in North Dakota and in Ferguson. We were shipping police officers from all over the country to those events. That was training. That was preparing. Now, there's something that people don't think about with the movements against illegal immigrants here. If they're not documented, then they're much harder to track. What does that mean? That means that they have the knowledge to go unnoticed. They could teach other people. So that's one of the biggest reasons that our government is moving against them now, so that they can't teach you how to avoid detection. They have, in some cases, they have entire systems, and those systems have to be torn down before they become underground railroads that can be used by much larger numbers of people. Now, I'm not falling into the conspiracy theory realm here. This is all fact. Everything here is all fact. So, what else do we have? With fascism, supremacy of the military is a hallmark of fascism. Right now, we have the largest global military presence of any country at any point in history. Over 1,600 military bases around the world. That's 32 bases per U.S. state. And again, those are only the ones that we know about. We got, the largest uh, military budget of anyone ever in history when you combine the official military budget with upgrading nuclear weapons, covert operations, and VA funding. Those things are not included in the military budget, but when you combine them with the official military budget, we are spending more money on our military than every other country on earth combined. Okay? This is while we have citizens that are going without medical care and children that are going to bed and going to school hungry. We're spending less money on our education. We have roads and bridges collapsing. And they want to take away food stamps. They want to raid Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, but we're giving tax breaks to the rich and pumping up the military budget. And threatening Russia, threatening China, threatening North Korea, threatening over 80 other countries with economic sanctions. But that's supremacy of the military. And Mattis made it clear that our military's role has changed, and we will use our military to back up trade disputes. That's no longer a question. So, let's see, what else? Okay, psychological profiling. Let's talk about that. So, you're on your computer, you're on your cell phone, everything that you are doing winds up being tracked, analyzed, put into databases so that they absolutely know everything you're doing, everything you're buying, everything you're reading, and build up a psychological profile. If you're not finding this frightening, then there's something wrong with you. And here's the craziest part. We're paying. They have us paying for it. It's a premium service that they have us paying for. You know, and they convince us to sign up for these things. Yeah, that is definitely a problem. 2016 absolutely showed that our elections, there were many of us that questioned it before that time, but 2016 absolutely showed that our elections are rigged. We have no control over who winds up in office. We might think that we do, but we don't. You know, there's barely a second thought given to who we want in office. And that doesn't matter which side of the aisle that you're on. The people that think that we still have a choice are the ones that, are the ones that were rooting for the person that got into office. That's about it. All right. Migration of wealth. Concentration of wealth at the top. And you've heard a lot about this for some time now. And so when the stock market crashed only a few days ago, there were several people that lost over $1 billion each. That's right. And it didn't even break them. It was basically an annoyance. The amount that the stock market dropped was greater than the entire gross domestic product of the United Kingdom. So what happened to cause that crash? The jobs report, the wages report. You heard it in Trump's speech, his State of the Union speech. Income is up, employment is up. What happens? The stock market crashes. So that alone tells you that all the money is going to the top, and they don't want to pay it out. So all the people that have the money don't want to pay it to you, but they can lose $1 billion. One person can lose over $1 billion in hours, and it's nothing but an annoyance. But we're going to give them more. Let's keep doing that. Okay? Pardon me. All right. Workers' rights. Yeah. Do I have to talk about workers' rights? You know, unions being crashed and destroyed, and it's just, you know, the corporations get more and more power, and you have less and less power on a daily basis. Censorship, signed into law by Barack Obama in December of 2016, along with the creation of basically a ministry of truth. If you don't know what that is, read 1984 by Orwell. So any foreign news sources that oppose the mainstream narrative have been forced to register as foreign agents. Look at RT. Look at Al Jazeera. But those are only the foreign news sources that do not toe the corporate line. They're not feeding you the required propaganda. Search engines and social media have the right to censor what you read. Then we've got net neutrality being repealed by the FCC, giving more more power to the corporations to censor what you have a right to read. If you can access it, then you're probably going to be paying more for it. So only the wealthy can afford to access actual information, and you get whatever propaganda the corporation wants you to see, and nothing else. Let's see. Everything that's going on, all of this stuff about racism, sexism, it doesn't matter where you stand on any of that. It's meant to divide us. You know, they've got you screaming about Muslims and transgender people and women against men and etc. You know, if you're attacking anybody, if you're attacking anybody that belongs to a different group, you're part of the problem. Doesn't matter who you are, who they are. So, let's see. And racism, sexism, all those things, those have been in this country since its inception. But the media and the politicians are capitalizing on it right now to take away more of your power and more of your choice. The dollar is decreasing in value, again, compared to other currencies. What does that mean? It means that prices are going to go up. Wages are not going to go up. Prices are going to go up. Because it takes more U.S. dollars to purchase products from other countries. Who benefits? Well, if prices go up, then the corporations that sell you products are just going to charge you a little bit more than what they're paying. You know, their profits never go down. So it's going to continue having a ripple effect, and then they're going to tell you how they need to cut your wages to make up the difference. So you pay for it twice. This list can just keep on going. It keeps on going and going. But just consider the fact that anything that's taking away from your rights, anything that is oppressing you and your neighbors, that's dividing us, keeping us from joining together on issues against what our government is doing, that is fascism. Because that is the goal. That is the entire point, to keep you separated, to make someone else the enemy, to make Russia the enemy, to make someone the opposite gender the enemy, and to make the poor the enemy, to make the rich the enemy, to make all of this is just making this entire country divided. It's not the Russians doing it. It's our politicians and our corporations that are doing it. They're the ones making money off of doing this. Stop being diverted. Start paying attention to what's really going on and how it has developed. And then start reaching out across the aisle to your neighbors, to your friends. Make more friends. Get together. Because that's the only chance that we've got. There is no them in U.S. There is only us. So let's start acting like it. Share this video. Please hit like and subscribe. If you see this on Steemit, please upvote me. And I'll talk to you later. Thank you.